Guys, welcome back to Southern Extreme TV. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on my channel. Today we're doing another gun review, which I absolutely love. This gun review is going to be a first initial impression and somewhat of an overview of the Johnson Dynamics 6.5 Grendel Upper, and I'm super excited to be talking to you guys about it. So let's dive straight into what this gun is. So first of all, if you're new to the AR-15 and the AR-10 world, you have two separate parts that consist of an upper assembly and a lower assembly. The upper assembly, which involves a barrel, a handguard, and then the actual components that make the bullet go bang, essentially. You can order these uppers straight to your house. You do not have to ship a complete upper to an FFL. Now your lower receiver, which is this black part that you see right here, this is what typically has to go to, not typically, this is what has to go to an FFL dealer because this has the actual serial number on it, and it would then be registered over into your name. But once you have a lower and you have a lower built the way that you want, you then have the option to have a multitude of different calibers depending on if you have an AR-15 or if you have an AR-10. The difference between the AR-15 and the AR-10 is just the chambering options. The AR-15 was built around the 5.56 or 223 round, and the AR-10 was built around the 7.62 or the 308, as you guys probably are commonly aware of. But today we're talking about the 6.5 Grendel, which was designed to fit onto an AR-15 lower. So that's what I have right here. I have an AR-15 lower, and this was actually one of the lowers that I built way back many moons ago. Whenever me and Guffey were first getting into coyote hunting, we were shooting 223s and 5.56s, and we had a lot of success with it, but we were having some problems with coyotes running away. But the AR-15 is a fantastic gun because you can fit a lot of different calibers from an upper assembly standpoint onto this lower. And I want to talk today, obviously this is the Johnson Dynamics 6.5 Grendel. This is their SASS model or SASS model with a really nice old school Cerakote finish, which is really cool. It's got an ambidextrous charging handle, which is really nice as well. I love having that ambi charging handle. That's a really nice feature to have on this upper. I want to talk about maybe the reasoning and the rationale behind the 6.5 Grendel before we dive too much more into this actual upper. The 6.5 Grendel is a very cool round that was somewhat introduced to me by doing research on why we were having so many coyotes running away with the 223 and the 5.56. And the long story short is the bullet was very small and very fast, therefore it was just blowing through the coyote and it wasn't doing a whole lot of internal damage. You didn't have a whole lot of kinetic energy and you didn't have that expansion. But a way to mitigate that typically is to increase your bullet weight, and one way to do that without having to go with a completely different lower is to go with a 6.5 Grendel. And I want you guys to take a look. Hopefully you can see this little baddie round right here. So it's a very small casing, but this is a 123 grain bullet that is shooting out of this 6.5 Grendel cartridge. And what's neat about this is the platform that this 6.5 Grendel is built around. So the length of the casing is designed to go and work with an AR-15 round. So the only thing that's different about it is you do have to have a 6.5 Grendel magazine, which you can see here. This was sent out by Johnson Dynamics as well. Really cool little laser engraving there. They do a bunch of that type stuff in-house. But again, this round was designed to be shot out of an AR-15 lower, but to offer a heavier bullet that offers some better ballistics as far as knockdown power. Now, there's guys that are taking this round and they're shooting out past 1,000 yards with it. Once you hit about that 400 to 500 yard mark with this 6.5 Grendel, you are going to see that bullet really starting to taper off in comparison to a 6.5 Creedmoor or a 243. But the 6.5 Grendel does have a place where it really belongs. It's a do-all round, let me put it that way. You can deer hunt with it, you can coyote hunt with it, you can varmint hunt with it, you can take it to the range and you can shoot long range with it, especially if you have a scope and a setup where you can really get that bullet dialed in. This gun is capable of doing everything. And the greatest thing about it is you do not have to buy a brand hammer new gun to make that happen. All you got to do is head over to Johnson Dynamics, pick out a 6.5 Grendel or any of the other uppers that they offer, and then slap it onto your already owned AR-15 lower and pick up a magazine and you're ready to go. Essentially, you can have 7 different uppers with one lower and essentially have 7 different rifles, and the only thing you have to get to go to a FFL dealer is this lower receiver, which is fantastic. So that's one of the really cool things about the 6.5 Grendel. So when Johnson Dynamics reached out to me wanting to kind of test and do a review of their upper, I was super excited about it because the 6.5 Grendel really helped us change the way that we coyote hunted and really helped our success rate. And it's a really cool round to let kids shoot because it's on that AR-15 platform, so it doesn't have as much of a bite as far as recoil goes in comparison to the 6.5 Creedmoor or the 308, where you just have a lot more powder burning and you just got a little bit more felt recoil. So you take a 6.5 Grendel, slap a suppressor on the end of it, and it is fantastic. You can take it to the range, your kids are going to enjoy shooting it and hunting with it. So I was super excited that they wanted to reach out and let me review this thing. Now, I've had this upper receiver now for close to a week, I guess, and I've been doing some playing around with it and really just trying to test it for any flaws and finding some things that I do like about it, some things that I don't like about it, and kind of just tackle it all at once. Johnson Dynamics Upper has the ambidextrous charging handle, which is really nice. They do have, and they're probably going to correct me on this video, their bolt carrier group is coated in a slick slide coating, which is part of the Cerakote process. So when they do the Cerakote process, obviously they strip everything down off of, drop my bullet there, they drop everything down, or they tear everything apart off of the upper, and then they Cerakote it to whatever you're looking for. If you want flat dark earth, if you want OD green, or if you want this cool little multi-cam old school throwback camouflage, which is what I opted to go with, they do that. And then they also add this slick slide coating on their bolt carrier group, which is really fantastic. And I could tell a difference immediately when I took this upper out of the box and I started messing with this charging handle. I could tell how easy, see, that's one finger, I could tell how easy this action was working in comparison to some of my other AR-15s, even in a 223, my other 6.5 Grendels that I own. This is just a lot nicer. It's a lot smoother. And when you're out in the field, if something was to happen, if you was going to get a jam, clearing this thing and charging this rifle is a breeze. I like the fact that the charging handle is out off to the side. It's away from your optics. It's easy to get to, and it's just an all around nice feel. The fit and finish on this upper was absolutely fantastic. It slapped right onto this lower that I had. This lower is not manufactured by Johnson Dynamics. This lower is actually a cheaper lower with some aftermarket components to help bring the value up, if you will. This is a Palmetto State Armory lower, but I've upgraded to a hoe grip. I've upgraded to a flat single stage aftermarket trigger, and then we've added some additional mag pull stuff on this back side just to make it a little more comfortable, which this was my go-to setup from a lower receiver standpoint back when we were running AR-15s on the regular for coyote hunting. So it fit perfectly. You don't have any weird machine marks. You don't have any weird, just bad fit. I mean, everything put together really nice, and just carrying it around and maneuvering it through the house and out here on the range, it's been a joy. It's been a dream to shoot. Right now I just have a normal daytime optic on this thing. Obviously the long-term goal is I'm actually going to be putting either a thermal scope on this or a night vision scope, and we're going to be taking this thing out and we're going to be testing it on some actual coyotes, which is really cool, and I'm super excited to try that. So again, everything about the upper so far has worked out. Now, I've not put this upper through an entire season worth of work, which obviously, you know, you guys know we're running the 243s and the 6.5 Creedmoors on that AR-10 platform, but there is a space for the 6.5 Grendel, and I'm super excited that they're willing to send it out to me. Everything that I've seen on this upper has been fantastic. I want to kind of shut up now and let you guys actually take a look at this bad boy going off. So again, I've got an empty magazine. We're going to pull this bolt carrier group, lock it back, and we're going to load up a couple rounds of the 6.5 Grendel and let you guys take a look at it going off. And we'll do 3 rounds, load up and do another 3 rounds, and let you guys take a look at this thing. Super excited about this, man. The 6.5 Grendel, you got to dang love it. If you've never shot a 6.5 Grendel, I highly recommend that you find somebody that has an upper or a rifle chambered in 6.5 Grendel, and you talk them into letting you shoot it at the range, or you just go ahead and bite the bullet and get you an upper from Johnson Dynamics and throw it on that AR-15 lower. You guys are not going to regret it, I can promise you that. So let's take a couple shots down range, not really shooting anything specific. I've got a paper target down there. We'll get into some of the more accuracy of the rifle down the road. We're talking mainly today about fit, finish, and functionality, which I believe that it checks all those boxes right now. So let's send a couple of rounds down range and see what we can do. Tell you what, it'd help if I charged it. Let's see. Yep. So we had 3 rounds. Chamber is locked back, so you've got a lock back action, which is what you want. That's one thing that I really like to check for on a new upper whenever you put it onto that AR-15, is to make sure that everything is kind of jiving. You want to make sure that the magazine is locking your bolt carrier group back. You want to make sure that you're getting a good ejection as far as your spent brass goes, and everything so far has checked the boxes with this upper. So let's load another 3 rounds, and I'm going to remember to charge it this time, I promise you. So we got 3 more rounds here. And I don't know if you guys can tell on that recoil or not. The recoil would be non-existent if if the action was not going back. So the only recoil that you're actually feeling is the true bolt carrier group coming back to eject the brass, which that is what you want. You don't want this gun to be just a punishment to shoot, because again, that's not what the 6.5 Grendel was designed for. You really want this thing to be a smooth, sweet shooting rifle that you can take deer hunting, coyote hunting, let your kids shoot, do it all type of rifle, and without having to buy a completely new rifle. You just have to buy the upper, which is really, really cool. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. 6 rounds through this thing, functioned absolutely flawlessly. We're going to do a lot more testing of this upper on this AR-15 lower. I'm super excited about it. It looks good, it feels good, it's lightweight, and guess what, it shoots good as well. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. If you're new to Southern Extreme TV, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are trying to grow this thing to 100,000 subs, and every click gets me one step closer. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see y'all guys on the next episode.